What's up, everybody? This is the Six for Sixers podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Anonymous. And on the Six for Sixers podcast, we break down the Sixers game, every Sixers game, in 6 points. What we see as the 6 most important points to the game, to the win, or to the loss. And you might ask why I'm wearing this bag on my head. If you watch the podcast, you know that every now and then I break this out, especially after a terrible, terrible loss. The Sixers lost to the New York Knicks 106-79. And really, the score is not close, but the score is a lot closer than the game actually was because the game was probably over at halftime. Wow. We just played in the Garden, and the Knicks had the same. Well, they had OG Anunoby, but is he that great that we got to lose by almost 30 points? So I don't know. I don't think Anunoby's that great to account for all of that. Now, man, we got Tyrese Maxey back, who probably is still suffering with some concussion-like symptoms. It wasn't great tonight, but anyway, let's get into the 6 points. But let me just say this before we get into the 6 points. That was a very important game because if we would have won, we would have moved up and tied for fourth. But we did not. And we're in a struggle now in the Eastern Conference to stay within that 6-team playoff hunt. We don't want the play-in tournament. We want to legitimately get in the playoff hunt. And so maybe we can get some rest for our starters and retool, but it just doesn't look good to do that. Point number one, effort, enthusiasm, intensity, will. All of those things are intangibles in sports in general. But the higher you get up, the less that you can really teach it. When you're on the peewee level, you can really kind of like rally your team. They kind of play off of your energy, even on the middle school, high school level. And even sometimes on the college level, you can really spark some emotion in guys and get them going. On the professional level, it just doesn't really work that way. It's a profession. So guys are really expected to come to work with that mentality already embedded in them, to the will to win. And it just didn't. The Sixers had no will, no effort tonight. They didn't seem to really want to even be on the floor. To me, only really Oubre and I guess Reed kind of, but the rest of the guys just didn't really seem like they were just dogging it. And in pro sports, when you have games like that where you're just dogging it, you're going to get burned because everybody's just too good. Everybody's such a great talent. And NBA is the highest level of basketball. And so you cannot come out and just show no effort and expect not to get blown out. The Knicks took full advantage. Shout out to them. They deserved to win. They played with heart. They played with all kinds of effort. They played like they really wanted that game, like they really knew what it meant. And they were really, really intent on getting it. And we just did not. So, number one, the effort was just lacking. Knicks understood the assignment, as we say, and they went out and got it. We just did not have any effort. Number two, I'm riding with Tobias Harris for a while. Everybody knows that. And even when he's gone into his slump periods, everybody knows I've said, oh, that's a slump. He's going to come out. He's going to come out strong. This time, I don't know. I wouldn't categorize it as a slump. I think that there's something else going on. I don't know if he's still having some after effects from his injury. But he has come back since that injury, and he's gone on to have pretty good games. But this game was just the lowly game. He was terrible. And I know they're going to crush him on social media. And he probably should. He probably is well deserved to get crushed on it at this point. He scored 2 points. Let me see how many shots he took. 6 shots. I didn't even know how many. but not in a good way. Like, I know he took a lot. I know he didn't take many. He was inept defensively. He looked lost out there. He didn't rebound. He had 3 rebounds and 2 points and 1 assist. Now, that's the stats of a guy who's coming off the bench in the fourth quarter, maybe like Tarquavion Smith's stats coming off the bench, getting the last couple minutes of the game. Not a starter, a guy who's playing 26 minutes. I really think that I've never been in favor of people calling for Ricky Council the fourth starting or taking all Tobias's minutes. I'm not totally in favor of that, but in games like today, where he just really doesn't appear to want to be involved in anything, you got to put him down on the bench, and you got to get some of the younger guys in and just see what they can do. Because, like I said, it wasn't just an off day. If it was just an off day, or he was shooting and he wasn't making them, or he was scrappy on defense but he wasn't offensively, that's different. He's had games like that where he shoots and it's not going in. Anybody has a game like that where it's just not your day. But you only take 6 shots and you're not providing anything defensively. You looked out of place a number of times. It's just hard to justify keeping that guy in the game. Tobias Harris, I believe his days in Philly are pretty much over. I cannot see them re-signing him. That's definitely not at the amount that he's getting now, but I don't even know if they'll re-sign him at all. It just looks terrible. So I like Tobias. Swiss Army knife, can do a lot of things on the floor, but just not consistently. And that's really, really what we need now, because we don't have Embiid. So we need a consistent scoring threat, at least 15 a game, maybe 20. But he's just not that guy right now. So that kind of bleeds into point number 3, which is Nick Nurse. And Nick Nurse has been good for this all season, infusing some of the younger guys. And Doc Rivers wasn't good at this. We had guys that stayed on the bench, and you knew they were not coming off the bench. Like Shake Milton, Korkmaz. Doc did not really give those guys much of an opportunity. And so that if Doc was coaching his team and Ricky Council, Tarquavion Smith, Doughton, the new guy, that Doc was not going to give those guys a chance. But Nick Nurse has given those guys not just a chance in garbage minutes, but some quality minutes. So why not just try these guys out? They are young, hungry. They play with a fire and a passion, as if they're looking to get that big contract that Tobias has. It's something in the NBA, when you get that big contract, that fire kind of dims out a little bit until you end up just not caring at all. But those young guys, they still have the fire. They still appear to want to, do well. Let them go. Let them cook. At a game like this, you're down 20 points or in the third. Hey, maybe they might be at a mount of comeback, and maybe they might come with some different level of energy. And so I think that it might be time to even experiment a little bit just before the playoffs to see what these younger guys can do that are hungry. And it's not much of an experiment when your starter is scoring 2 points and won't shoot the ball, or goes to the rim really soft, or, doesn't go at all, just pulls up and mid-range, basically missed everything Tobias did. So, that's point number 3. Let's get some of these young guys going, man, see what they can do. Point number 4, Buddy Hield. Buddy. They gave you a nickname, Buddy Love. Ain't no love in the game now. Buddy is failing us fast. He came in really hot. Buddy's strength is shooting threes, but when he's not shooting threes, he's just pretty dismal as a player, because he's not one to just like go to the rim and cause havoc or break somebody down off the dribble. He has a hard time getting his own shot. He has to come off like a screen, but tonight he was open a lot. He didn't shoot any crazy threes. He shot good, calculated 3-pointers and just missed them. So he didn't shoot well tonight from three, particularly. Hield shot 1 for 7 for three. He had 9 points. And if we're gonna win, we need Hield to be better from three. That's what they brought him in for, to be that sniper, playing off Maxey driving to the basket, or even when Embiid is there, kick to Hield, wide open three. You got to make it. You got to make more than one out of seven. I mean, at least 3 out of 7. Give us that. Put our 3-point total percentage down to 24%. The whole team was bad, so it's not just on Hield, but Hield is who we look for to make a 3-pointer, because that's his niche in the league, is being a dead-eye sniper. And he started out for us really well as a sniper, and then so since the last couple of games, he's just not been able to get a shot to go through the basket. So that's point number 4. Hield leaves no threat from three. He's just kind of shooting them up there, but clanking on the rim, building a brick house. Point number 5, defense. I'm not going to even belabor that point. It was pretty obvious that the defensive effort wasn't there. The Knicks took full advantage. I mean, they just dunked. They put on a dunk party. 3-pointers from everywhere. Brunson was hitting. Josh Hart was hitting. And they were getting open. They had no problem slicing through our defense. I think Mo Bamba showed some intensity at one point in the game. Just using his length, but still, it wasn't enough defensively. And of course, Reed doesn't defend very well, in my opinion. And Harris wasn't involved, and nobody else really kicked in there today defensively. So the Knicks took advantage. This is what a pro team does when you don't appear to want to play. And number 6, which is a positive point, Kelly Oubre Jr. continues to just pick this team up and try to get it to do something. He was good tonight, 19 points and 50% from the 3-point line. He has a great energy, man. He had that one dunk posterizing Hartenstein, and that just shows, like, when he sees an opening, he's not trying to lay the ball up. He's not trying to pull up and shoot a jumper. He's trying to make a statement, and he's done that in the last couple games, make a great statement. And really, at this point in the season, it might be a statement about our future, who we're going to sign in the offseason, who we're going to re-sign is a better word, and who we're going to let go into free agency. And I think that Oubre Jr. has been a player who has been, he's been on Golden State, he's been on Charlotte, he's been in Washington. He's moved around a lot. Hopefully the Sixers see it fit to sign him again, and hopefully the money is right for both parties, because he does play with that passion, that aggression that we really, really desperately need. So I think that great game by Oubre. I mean, he's just balling out, man, and I'd like to see him just get the ball a little bit more. Just if nobody else is going to play, just let him rock with it. Let's see what he can do. So great game, Kelly Oubre. That's my 6 point. Ended with a positive point. I do think this team's in trouble. I don't think we're gonna get in that 6th spot, but I hope we do. I hope they prove me wrong. I don't believe that if we get in the play-in tournament, even if we get Embiid back, I just don't see us going very far. If without Embiid, we're getting blown out by 30. And I know Embiid changes the dynamic of a game tremendously, as we've seen since he's been absent. We've been terrible. But I don't know, coming off an injury, I just don't see him coming back the way that he needs to come back. I almost would opt to just leave him out until next season. But I just definitely don't see the Sixers playing with the type of fire that they need to not only get out of the play-in tournament, but then to move into playoff basketball and go to the Eastern Conference Finals and win that. It would take, I would be really, really shocked. I hope they do, though. I'm not a hater. I hope they make it happen because, I'm a lifelong fan, been a fan forever. So let's see what they do. But it doesn't look good now. And that's for sure. It doesn't feel good as a fan, which is hence why I break this bag out. Doesn't feel good today. Anyway, let's roll out 6 for Sixer podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on YouTube. And we also on Facebook. If you go to Facebook page, does 6 for Sixers, and go to join the Facebook page. Sometimes after the game, we go live from Facebook and get the community going. And we are going to increase the podcast soon to also go live from YouTube as well, just to get everybody involved. But let's just keep growing and keep cheering the team on. Go Sixers, no doubt. There's never a doubt. I'm always a true fan. But, man, this season's been turned into a major, major disappointment. Anyway, 6 for Sixers, I'm out. See you on the next game. Hopefully he gets some rest. Maxey gets his head. Cobwebs get cleared. And he comes back. He looked a little off tonight. And that's to be expected. He missed the last 4 games. And probably still not 100%. So, go team. See what they can do on the next one. We out. 6 for Sixers podcast. Peace.